everyone, today we're going to learn how to hand letter a quote. I'll kind of take you step by step through my process. The first step is to find a quote. This quote can be anything that inspires you, or maybe that's funny, but something that you would like to letter. And then the next step is to find the keywords and the groups of words or words that need emphasis as you create your own lettered quote. So the next step in my process is to just try a bunch of different styles. I sketch out this quote lots of times, and I try different words in print or in cursive, and I decide which one I like the best, and that becomes my final draft. So here you can see all of my sketches. The first one I tried had a curve, and I didn't end up liking that. And I even tried to put more words on that curve, and I really didn't like that. I ended up trying a different style, which inspired a different style, which inspired my final draft. So that's just something to keep in mind as you sketch. Just try lots of different ways. I also like to play around with which words I'm going to have in cursive, which words I'm going to have in print. And then once I have what I want, I pencil in my final draft. And this is where I want to try and be really neat. I write it really softly so that I can erase easily. I'll show you kind of where I went from my sketch to my final draft. So here's my final draft. And you can see which ideas I gleaned from my sketches. I make sure that I don't get crazy with different sizes. I stay pretty consistent, and then the words that I want to emphasize I usually will put in cursive, and the other ones will remain in print. That's just my style, but you can do whatever you want. This is kind of a tip for getting things to be centered. So if I know I have a long word and I don't want to measure everything out, I'll write the first letter and the last letter, and then space all the other letters in between. So this word yourself is a pretty long word, so I put the Y and the F, and then I fit in all the other letters. The next step is just to ink in your final design, and I'll go through that really quickly. The next step is to use your handy dandy eraser to erase all the pencil marks. So just to review, the first step is find a quote and emphasize the key words and figure out which words you're going to emphasize. The second step is to try a lot of ideas. This is where I get creative and just try a bunch of different styles, and then that inspires me to create my final draft.